Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this Verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy and this is a writing class. So I'm just getting our file for today sorted out. If you'd like to practice your writing skills, then come on in. We'll spend the first part of the lesson writing, and today our topic is stories, so it's going to be a bit of fun. Practicing our creative writing, I've got some story starters for you, and you can either use these to inspire you, you can use them to start you off, to give you some ideas, or you can simply think up your own idea if you prefer. We'll spend part of the lesson, probably the first 20 to 25 minutes, writing, depending on how many students we have. Then we'll stop and we'll read each other's work and correct it so that you can leave with a corrected piece of writing. Hopefully include some new vocab words that you've learned, or practicing a bit of that grammar that you need to get out there, with the knowledge that it will be corrected by me before you leave, so you will have something to work from later on. So we'll say hello to the students in just a sec. I just want to let you know that there are two useful pages that I usually try to tell students about here. The first one is my Facebook page, which you can go to just to connect up with me informally, talk to the other students who attend my classes here on Verbling, share some information or ideas or any cool stuff that you find throughout the week, which is what I do, that could be helpful to other students. The other page that is handy is my Verbling teacher page, where you will find upcoming classes, as well as my timetable in case you're interested in a private tutoring session with me. You can also write me a message on there if you've got any questions about anything. And you can click on the blue follow button if you want to be automatically notified, to save you having to go to lots of different teachers' websites. So there's all your information. As I said before, this is a writing class, and we'll spend some of the time writing and then the rest of the time correcting. So who do we have to give us some inspiring and interesting writing this morning, or this evening? First of all, I'll say hello to Antonio.
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Antonio. How are you? Have I met you before?
I'm from. No, I'm not with you before.
This is your first class with me. And whereabouts in Spain are you from?
Excuse me, can you repeat, please?
Sure. Which part of Spain are you from?
I'm from Aragon.
Ah, okay. I have never been there, but it's lovely to meet you, Antonio. And is it hot over there right now? Is the
Excuse me.
weather hot? Is the weather
No,
hot?
weather is in this moment and a bit rainy.
Oh,
We are
not very summery.
summer.
Well, I'm sure it's better than my native country, the UK. Typically it is. Welcome to the class, Antonio.
Thank you.
Let's say hello to Bruno again. How are you doing?
Hi, Amy. I'm
Back for
still
some
doing
writing
well.
practice.
What about you?
I'm still doing okay, thank you, Bruno. I'm looking forward to reading what you guys come up with today for your stories. All right, welcome, Bruno. Let's say hi to Felipe. Are you there, Felipe? I can't hear anything. Can you hear me okay? All right, Felipe, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. See if you can get your microphone going so I can say hi to you. Juan Carlos, hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Juan Carlos. Have I met you before?
No, this is my first time in this class.
Great, another new student. Woohoo! And where are you from?
Colombia.
All right, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Are you a good writer?
No.
Honest about it? Okay. What about in Spanish? Can you write okay in Spanish, or are you still awful?
Excuse me.
And what about in Spanish, in your native language? Are you a good writer? Or is it just English that's bad?
No, sorry. I don't follow
understand?
you.
I said, are you a good writer? And you said no, right?
Right. What
Are you
is
good at
right?
writing? Are you good at writing?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. More or less. More or less.
Good. Okay, that's great. I'm very pleased to hear it.
I'm
Well,
gonna
you
try.
can practice.
Okay,
Welcome to the class. I'll read some of your writing later on.
thank you.
Hello to Raphael. How are you?
Hello, Amy.
How are you doing, Raphael?
I'm okay. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. I've got a bit of a cold. I'm trying not to sniff too much because I know it's very irritating.
Really?
But apart from that, I'm fine.
It's been awful. Huh?
You've also got a cold?
Yes.
Oh, join the club. High five.
Hi.
All right. Well, guys, let me talk to you about what we're doing today. If you go to the Google Drive, you'll find the file for today called, well, it's got today's date and I think LW, so let's write about LWA. If you open it, then I'll give you permission just a second so that you can join me. And I'll give you a few minutes just to get that file, everybody. So let me know. There we go. Just do tell me if you're having any problems. Hopefully we can all get through here. I'll change my screen so that you can see what we're looking at. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through these story starters. I just want to point out that you don't actually have to use them at the beginning of your story. You could just use them as an idea. You could put them in the middle. Whatever you like, really. It's just to give you some inspiration to get you writing in English. So what we'll do is we'll read out each one and just check everybody understands them before we start. So Antonio, could you read number 1, please?
In Google Drive,
Yes. Have you found the file okay or not?
I I can't see anything.
Okay. Have you?
I see right now. Let's write stories.
Exactly.
The monster started his search for the treasure map in the attic.
Thank you. All right. Does everyone understand that? Any vocab? Bruno, you still haven't found the file, or are you okay now?
No, it's just white. I can see nothing.
Oh, that's rather strange. Okay, just a second. I'll see if I can give you the link. That
Uh-huh.
Just a moment. Okay, I'll put the link into the Google chat. All right, just so that we. So if you check the Google chat box, there's the link. See if you can access it from that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, so I'll switch to Juan Carlos. Could you read number 2, please? The beekeeper.
Yes, the beekeeper was digging in the sand near the volcano when suddenly.
Dum 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 dum. Yeah.
What is
All right.
beekeeper?
What is a beekeeper?
Beekeeper.
Anybody know? Nobody? A beekeeper is simply somebody who keeps bees, right? Bzzz, those type of bees.
Okay.
Who looks after them and then gets honey from them. Okay? Number 3 is for Raphael to read, please.
So, at midnight, the brilliant traveling agent cracked into the junkyard, only to find... ...
Thank you. Okay, number 4, Antonio, you again, please.
But it was too late. The obsessed dog handler had already cancelled the chick 3 days prior.
Good. Okay, do we know what all the vocab is, guys? Any questions? What's a dog handler?
It's the person who lead the dog.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys you really use your imaginations for what this story could be about. Bruno, number 5.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Amy? Ah, okay.
Yes.
It was the poem that the tiny butcher had written while in a closed gas station that would win the contest.
Okay. Everyone following so far? And the last one here for you, Juan Carlos, please.
And the door slowly opened.
All right, so feel free to go crazy with your ideas, guys, okay? You can write in whatever tense you like. You can make it a poem, a story, or whatever kind of creative writing you like, using any of these or your own ideas. All I want you to do is to just type your name somewhere, for example, here. You can change all the font and stuff up the top and start your story here. So the same document, and then we can correct each other's work at the end. So I will give you should be about 25 minutes today, since we only have 4 of us. So I'll be here all the time. I would like everybody to mute their microphones. I will also do that, just so that we have a nice quiet environment to write in. I'll write the instructions in the chat box just in case you forget what to do. And if you have any questions, please just unmute your mic and let me know, or type to me in the chat box. So whenever you're ready, guys, off you go.
A question, Amy. Can I
Sure.
choose any topic from one?
Absolutely. Yep,
Okay.
any topic you like. And if you want, you can do more than one if you're really fast. It's up to you. Hello. Hi there. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank
Hello.
you. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you, Heide, or nice to hear you. Heide, we are doing stories today, so if you would like to access the file, you can see the link in the Google chat or in the Google Drive. And do let me know if you have any questions. We've just started writing, so you've got plenty of time, okay?
Amy?
Yes?
I have a problem here because I can't type anything on Google Drive.
Okay, that's strange. I've given you full access. Bruno, don't worry about it. What you should do is just type your writing somewhere else on your computer. At the end, if you can paste it into the chat box, I'll paste it into the document for you so that you can see what I'm doing with corrections, okay?
Okay.
Does that sound
thank
like
you.
a plan? I don't want to waste too much time worrying about the Google document. Alright guys, if you can please remember just to mute your microphone so we don't hear lots of typing noises distracting everybody. Okay, Heidi, you're not understanding. Are you there, Heidi? Okay, let me explain to you. If you access the Google Drive, that's the app on the side where you can find the document. What you'll find is 6 story starters. That's like little sentences that can inspire you to write a story. And that's what you can see here on the screen. These 6 here. So all you have to do is to choose one of these and then write something, whatever comes to mind, something creative about one of these topics. So you might choose, for example, number 6, which says, and the door slowly opened, and write a story about something to do with this. So maybe, I don't know, a boy opens the door to peek in and see his mum, or maybe there's a monster or a ghost or whatever you like, just to sort of practice your vocabulary and your grammar. Is that clearer? You need to unmute your microphone if you want to talk to me, because I can't hear you. Juan Carlos, would you mind muting your microphone for us, please? Because we can hear a lot of your typing noises.
Okay, just a
Thanks.
moment.
All right, about 5 more minutes, everybody. All right, everybody, if you can start to just think about finishing off, and we'll start corrections very soon. And if you'd like to just, once you're done, copy and paste into one of the chat boxes, if you haven't already typed on the document, that would be great.
Amy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Juan Carlos.
I was not able to manage the Google Drive. I don't know what happened because some classes before I did. So I put my history on the chat. Can you
No
see?
problem. I can see. Yep, I've just pasted it into the document for you. Thank you, Juan Carlos. And we may as well start with you since you're ready. So if you would like to read, please. Could you
Are
read
you
what you've written for us, please?
are you talking with me?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay. And the door slowly opened. This is the beginning of this history. But just a moment, I'm not able to use Google Drive. It is curious because some weeks ago I did good in another barbering class, maybe with Simon. Anyway, I will write on the barbering chat, as said. Uh, and the door slowly opened. This is the beginning of this story. It was many years ago. I had just arrived to Guyana, I believe Arnott Country. After 20 days traveling on the middle of the jungle, at the end we were in Georgetown, the capital city. And to top of it, this city was flooded. There was no place to go to rest, but fortunately we saw a huge church, and it was just a clean-out wall to get a small window and entry in a warm place. We looked for the highest place inside church. There was a mistake there.
okay.
So suddenly we were on the bell room. We were so tired we lay down and tried to sleep after some minutes. I think everybody was asleep. But surprise was terrible when the door slowly opened and behind it there was a herd of calves.
Is this true, Juan Carlos?
No, no. It's
You
just
just made it
a,
up.
it's just a history.
A
Uh,
story. A
the
story.
story. The
Yeah.
story. Yes,
All right.
I went to Georgetown, but of course, it's just in my
Your
imagination.
imagination.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well done. So I love your beginning. And the doors slowly open. We need either opened or opens because we can't say
open.
open.
Ah,
Okay.
okay, it opens. Yes.
This is the beginning of this story, but just a moment. I'm not able to use Google Drive. Let's put a full stop there, and then a capital. It is curious because some weeks ago I did well. I did well in another verbling chat class, maybe with Simon. Anyway, I will write on the verbling chat. Great. Sorry, I'm not sure why you weren't able to access the file, Juan Carlos. Okay, I said if you want to use this again, maybe put it into little speech marks, and the door slowly opened. This is the beginning of this story. It was many years ago, and I had just arrived in, because Guyana's a country. We usually say in, okay, for a country. I just arrived in Spain, in Guyana. I believe it or not country? What do you mean by that, Juan Carlos? I like it, but what do you mean?
Because this country is unbelievable. There are some
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Just I don't know is that correct that phrase. I believe.
I believe it or not country. Yeah, it makes sense, and I just wanted to check that you knew what you were saying, but it's very cool. It's something I haven't heard before, but it certainly makes sense, and I like it. So nice phrase, Juan Carlos. I believe it or not country. After 20 days traveling through, either in or through, but not on. Okay.
Yeah, in true. Okay.
In the middle of the jungle
Or
or
true.
through the middle of the jungle. Yeah. Then we need a full stop. At the end, I would say here, arrived in. We arrived in Georgetown,
Okay.
the capital city, and to top this off, to top something off, not to top something of, okay?
Uh,
Another great phrase, though, to top this off.
okay.
This city was flooded. My goodness. There, we'll do a capital letter, there was no place to go to rest. But fortunately we saw a huge church, and it with a small I, it was just a climb a wood wall. And what I would say is we just had to climb. We just had to climb. Or you could say it was just a small climb, maybe.
Yes.
Look at my terrible typing.
Small.
Climb up a wood wall. So you can say we just had to climb a wood wall. We need to put a wooden wall. Or it was just a small climb up a wooden wall. To get to something, a small window, and enter. Entry is the noun, yeah? Enter is the verb.
Yes.
A warm, I think you meant warm place. Enter a warm place. You don't need in. We needed to make sure we stay in the past because we're talking about our story in the past. So we looked for the highest place inside with an I. And here you meant the church, right?
Church.
Yeah. Inside the church, because we're talking about the specific church that we're in. Inside the church. So suddenly we were in the bell room. In the bell room. Cool. We were so tired, we lay down and tried to sleep. And then I think we need a full stop there. After some minutes, or maybe a few, sounds a bit more natural. After a few minutes, I think everybody was asleep. But the surprise was terrible. Or, better, we had a terrible surprise. Or even, we got a terrible surprise.
We got?
Yeah, we got a terrible surprise. Usually surprise is used when it's something nice, so we might put shock even. A terrible shock. When the door slowly opened with an ED. And behind it there was a herd of cops. Herd is usually a word we use for animals, and it's not wrong here at all, because it kind of gives the idea that these cops are like animals, but I just wanted to tell you that. I'm not sure if you knew that or not. Were you aware that was what it sounded like?
Here.
A herd? Yeah. So a herd is usually something like animals, like a herd of cows.
I know.
Right? Okay. So you did that on purpose?
No, not really. I don't remember the proper name, so I use her.
Okay.
Maybe group or gang is better.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Okay.
But herd is okay. It just sounds like the cops are like animals, so maybe not. It's up to you. You're the writer. But usually we say a group or a gang, something like that.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Juan Carlos. That was really interesting and well done. Most of your corrections were just minor things to do with prepositions. Look out for your prepositions like in, through, off. Those I know are so tricky in another language. But well done, because you kept with the past tense nearly all the way through. And you've used some really interesting phrases. I like it, you're a believe it or not country. And to top this off, great phrases. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. You're welcome to stay while we correct the other students' work. So, Antonio, is this your one here? But he couldn't find anything there?
Yes, it's mine.
All right, if you don't mind. Yes?
I erased the beginning because I don't know to manage very well the Google chat, the Google Drive.
No problem.
My story starts with the story of the monster, the first one.
Okay, no problem. So, we will just read your story from here. And I'll get rid of the bold. Alright, could you please read it for us, Antonio?
Okay. First I erase the first sentence. The monster started searching the treasure in the roof of the house, but he couldn't find anything there. He went on downstairs to the bedrooms. He searched in the four red bedrooms of the house, but nothing. The monster had been spending so much time, and the owners of the house could arrive at any time. He went on opening the drawers and the wardrobes without success, when suddenly he heard a big noise. A car was in front of the house, and there was people inside, wearing red hats and white wear. People go out the car and try to open the door of the house, but they couldn't. The lock didn't work. The lock didn't work. Then they start to look through the windows and saw inside the house. Everything was messy. Someone had been looking for something in the house. They had been waiting for this moment for many years because they knew the interest of the monster about the treasure of their grandfather.
Great story, Antonio.
I'm not very imaginative, but I live the story in this very interesting moment.
Yes, absolutely. You've left it on a cliffhanger. Do you know what a cliffhanger is?
No?
It means just what you said, that an interesting moment that makes you want to read on.
Okay.
Makes you want to read more. And you can use this with TV series as well. Like at the end of an episode, something happens and it makes you want to watch the next episode. And it's called a cliffhanger. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Well done. We've imagined that the monster's in the attic. We missed out the first sentence, but he couldn't find anything there. He went on downstairs to the bedrooms. Usually we put it downstairs. So if we're talking about going down the stairs, we split it, but in this case you're talking about the place. He searched in the 4 bedrooms of the house, but nothing. The monster had been spending so much time, and the owners of the house could arrive at any time. Okay, the monster had been, I would say in this case, had been there for a long time. Because just when you say he had been spending so much time, it's still ongoing, and it's very difficult to explain, but if I know what you're talking about, he was worried that the owners of the house would come back, right? So if you want to use had been, I would say had been there for a long time already, because the emphasis is really on the fact that he'd already been there.
Okay.
If you want to use the verb to spend, I would say he'd already spent a long time there already, because you want to show the reader that it's the fact that he's already been searching and searching. So we need somehow the word already, otherwise it doesn't make so much sense. And the owners of the house could arrive at any time. Perfect. He went on opening the drawers. Great. And the wardrobes is with a B.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, just had to reload that for a second. Why are we having problems today? Alright. Back to your story. Okay, so wardrobes is with a B. Yes. Without success. Great phrases here, Antonio. When suddenly he heard a big noise. Okay, what I'd do is a full stop here. Okay? And then, because we've got too much happening in the sentence otherwise. So now you're explaining to us what the big noise was. A car was in the front of the house. Was at the front of the house. Or I would say at, yeah. You can sometimes say out, but not in, because you're actually outside. And there were people. People in English is like a plural. It functions as a plural. So there were people inside wearing red hats. And in English, we don't say that you wear a beard. So you need a different verb for this, okay? So, and they had, I would say, white beards.
Okay.
We don't usually say that somebody wears a beard. Then 7 people got out of the car, you can say, but off is also possible, and tried to open the door of the house, but they couldn't. The lock didn't work. Then they started to look through the windows. Throw is the past tense of, well, all the present, of to throw, right? Not through, so that's a verb. This is a preposition. And saw inside the house that everything was messy. Better to say, and saw that everything was messy inside the house. Then a full stop, because you've got an explanation coming up. Or you could put and someone, if you wanted. Someone had been looking for something in the house. They had been waiting for this moment for many years, because they knew the interest the monster had in the treasure of their grandfather, or in their grandfather's treasure. So all I'm doing is making it sound a little bit more natural. Just the way that we phrase, the order that we put things in English is slightly different. So to have an interest in something is one. And then because we usually say, when we use belongings, things belonging to people, we usually use apostrophe S. It sounds more natural, so that's something you can remember, Antonio, okay?
Okay.
But apart from that, excellent writing, well done. Really few mistakes. The only thing I was really correcting is just making it sound more natural, but your grammar was really good. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Raphael, have you got something for us?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. I just saw it. Gosh, that's tiny. I'm going to make it bigger if you don't mind. All right, would you read it for us, please?
Okay. The beekeeper was digging the sand near the volcano when suddenly a lot of atomic cockroaches started to emerge from the sand. These cockroaches were capable of flying because they had wings, and their shell protected them from the heat. The poor beekeeper had to get out of there quickly in order to avoid being bitten by them. He headed towards his car, grabbed the first can of insecticide that he found, and went back to where he was. But mysteriously, when he returned, there wasn't any sign of cockroaches. He grabbed his hoe and began an effortless attempt to find some, just to increase his collection of strange insects. He digged uninterruptedly for endless 10 minutes and realized that what he might have seen was nothing but an optical illusion. When he were almost giving up on his attempt, the ground started to shake the toilet's earthquake he had witnessed. After that, a fierce smell of sulfur contaminated the entire environment. Suddenly, he could ensure that the volcano was about to explode. All he could do by then was to bend his knees and pray, because it was impossible to escape in time from where he was. When he looked back, he saw a huge, heavy, and massive stone coming towards where he was. There wasn't anything else to do. His whole life went in front of his eyes. He swallowed his spit one last time, took a step and waited. Everything became dark and bright afterwards. The beekeeper listened, an annoying noise coming from his surroundings. It was his alarm clock. And in the end, it was just a nightmare.
Raphael, great story. Okay, let's have a look at it. I love the way that you've kind of taken this little story starter. If I can just get back to the beginning. Come on, Google Docs. What's wrong with you today? Okay. Okay, so the beekeeper was digging in the sand near the volcano when suddenly a lot of atomic cockroaches started to emerge from the sand. These cockroaches were capable of flying because they had wings, and their shell protected them, I think you need to say,
Yes.
from the heat. The poor beekeeper had to get out of there quickly in order to avoid being bitten by them. He ran towards his car, grabbed the first can of insecticide that he found, and went back to where he was. But mysteriously, when he returned, there wasn't any sign of the cockroaches. Great writing so far, Raphael. Okay, there we go. He grabbed his hoe. I love the fact that he has all this stuff in his car. Insecticide, a hoe. And began an effortless attempt. An effortless attempt. Because it's only an adjective, right? Because you're describing an attempt, which is a noun. To find some, just to increase his collection of strange insects. He dug. He dug.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No problem. He dug uninterruptedly. He dug uninterruptedly. Not exactly sure what you meant. You mean he didn't stop digging, don't you? Or did you mean that nobody interrupts him, Raphael?
Yes, nobody interrupted.
Nobody interrupted.
Without interruption.
Yeah, okay. I would say that uninterrupted. Nobody interrupted him. He dug uninterrupted, or without interruption, for an endless 10 minutes. So you mean it felt like it was going on forever? What do you mean by, why did you use the word endless?
For being sarcastic.
Okay.
10 minutes, it's almost nothing.
Really short, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think you still need to put and then it makes more sense. An endless 10 minutes. And realize that what he might have seen was nothing but an optical illusion. With double L. When he was almost giving up his attempts, don't need the of, the ground started to shake with, or due to, come on little mouse, toughest is probably not a one I'd use with an earthquake, Raphael. Maybe most severe, or strongest. Toughest isn't wrong, it's just that it's not quite giving the right idea, I don't think. But it's up to you. He had ever witnessed. He had ever witnessed. After that, a fierce smell of sulfur contaminated the entire environment. Certainly, he could ensure... If you ensure something, it's actually up to you, Raphael. So you're the one doing it, right? So since he's not actually in control of the volcano, he can't ensure it. He can be sure. So what we might want to put is he was sure. But because he's not the one making the volcano erupt, he can't actually ensure it. Do you understand that?
No.
No? If you ensure something, the word en... Why is this being so slow? It's very frustrating. If you ensure something, it means that you are in control of it. Like, I ensure you that I will do my homework. It's something you're in control of, but you're not in control of whether a volcano erupts or not, right? So you can't ensure that. You can only be sure of it. To ensure means that you are the one making sure that it actually happens. Can you see the difference? To ensure is like sort of saying, I promise that I will do this, or I will make this happen, or not happen. Is it still confusing? Yeah? No?
Okay.
Alright. He was sure that the volcanoes, if he was in control of the volcano, like he was making it explode, then you could say ensure. But I don't think that's what you mean, is it? Because then you say all he could do by then was to bend his knees and pray, because it was impossible to escape in time from where he was. Yeah, perfect. Well done. When he looked back, he saw a huge, heavy, and massive stone coming towards where he was. Coming towards him, I would say. Easier than where he was, and it's a bit, we've just said where he was. So just to perfect it, there was nothing else to do. Nothing. Or
Yes,
you can
yes.
say there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
His whole life went in front of his eyes. Sometimes we say flashed before. But this is a bit of a cliche, so you're welcome to avoid that one. He swallowed his, I would say saliva here. He swallowed his saliva. Spit is like very sort of colloquial.
Informal.
It's really informal. Yeah. Took a deep breath and waited. Everything went dark. Everything went dark. And bright afterwards. Maybe bright again. Just to make the contrast clearer. The beekeeper listened. Heard, I think you mean. Heard an annoying noise coming from his surroundings. It was his alarm clock. And in the end, it was just a nightmare. Thank you, Raphael. Great piece of writing, as usual. Some really, really good sentences in there. Well done, because you didn't go for easy stuff. You really used your English to your best level, which I'm very proud of you for. Well done. That was great.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Well, it's a couple of minutes late, so I'll let you go now to your next classes. But take care. I hope to see you all soon. Some really great writing from all of you. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Amy. See ya.
See you.